Hello, ineffable beings. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful, magical day. I want to tell you that you are a genius. You are special. You mean the world, and you are loved. Ineffable being, what is your dream? What is your passion? Or perhaps your purpose? Why do you wake up every morning? What are you searching for? What are you working towards? Why do you eat healthy, meditate, read, study? Where are you going? What is your dream? I invite you to put it down in the comments. My partner and I and our ineffable family are going to give a meditation to all of the dreams that everyone has. Dreams are something that are intimate, that are important, and they deserve a full topic on their own. I'm going to tell you in this video a story from Steve Harvey, my personal story, and I'm going to try and see if I can get a Denzel Washington story out there. One that I just very recently heard, so I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability. Well, I'm sure that along your life you've been building, the idea of the type of person you want, the type of life you want, the type of things that you want to accomplish, and perhaps financial goals, health, and all types of different dimensions. You're writing down, or you are determining what it is you want in these different dimensions of life. Some of us may not even have a dream. Some of us just might have very general ideas of the type of life we want to have. And the truth is that all of these ideas, where do they come from, right? We have to really investigate what our unconscious thoughts are and what are the difference between unconscious thoughts and conscious thoughts. So I like to call thinking or conscious thought internal conscious activity. It's a lot easier to see now what is the difference between a thought that I give myself versus one that just comes because all of my external environment, my brain has to translate all of these senses and things into electrical signals that we call thought. The importance of this is that for many of us, and kind of even myself, it's the collection of things that I have done, said, seen, heard, that create the ideal life that I want. And I'll just come out of the gate and say, my dream, my purpose is to help raise the collective conscious. That was something that I planted, that I decided a long time ago, about maybe 5 years ago. But it was a two-way street. It was kind of unconscious, and it was me accepting this idea of what I wanted to do in my life and running with it. So, telling our dreams to our wrong people is today's topic. I'll tell you first the story that comes from Steve Harvey. He was a little kid in school, and in this specific day, his teacher, elementary school teacher, asked the kids to write down on a piece of paper what they wanted to do when they grew up. So Steve started to think, and he was like, wow, what am I going to do? What do I want to be? And he wrote on his piece of paper, be on TV. So the teacher started calling all the kids out. They would stand up by the side of their desk, and they would say and share what they wanted. So Steve heard astronauts, musicians, he heard the whole scope, police officers, scientists, engineers, everything in between. And he, whenever it was his turn, he was really excited because no one has said what he wanted to do. And so, let's remember, if you don't know, Steve Harvey, growing up as a kid, as a young kid, he had a stuttering problem, a severe stuttering problem, which a great many of us don't know because now he's on TV every single day almost, right? So he gets up and he musters the best to his ability to share his dream. And the teacher calls him, Steve, come to the front of the class. So now he believes he's going to get a gold star. He believes he's going to get applauded because he's the only one that has said he wants to be on TV. So he gets there, and by the tone of the teacher, he starts thinking that something is wrong. He must have said something wrong, or she didn't understand him, but he could tell that he was in trouble. And she started going off on poor little Steve Harvey at the age, well, I can't remember, but 8, 9, 10 years old. Poor little Steve Harvey with a severe stuttering problem, wanting to be on TV, and the teacher goes off on him, saying, Steve, who do you know that is on TV? Who in your family, in this community, in this neighborhood is on TV? Now granted, he didn't grow up in the best, most pampered neighborhood, right? So he tries to muster the best of his ability what he wants to do, and there is the teacher bringing him down. And the story goes on where he goes home with a note from the teacher explaining how crazy, outlandish his dream is, and asking the parents to discipline him accordingly. And I'm not going to continue the story, but I will end it with now. Every Christmas, Steve claims to be sending this individual, this teacher, that tried to destroy his dream. Every Christmas sends this teacher a flat screen television. Why? Because you can't turn off the TV and not see Steve Harvey. Well, my personal story, it's a little bit shorter. I'm still in the process of creating it, but I am living it. Um, I remember whenever I decided to share my dream, my passion with my parents, it was received in a very similar way. And let's remember, today's topic is telling our dreams to the wrong people. And we'll get into the importance of this after this story, but let's remember, my purpose, my dream is to help raise the collective consciousness. So one weekend, I remember this was actually a very long time ago. I was sitting with my parents in the living room, in their living room, and I was telling them how, I was all excited, life just started firing in every cylinder within me, and I was meditating, and I was getting into binaural beats, and opening myself up to this, the depth of what the human being really is. And there I am, a young 18 or 19-year-old's version of myself, telling my parents, like, God is within you, you are all, and all is you, and like telling them all these things, right? And these are people who have jobs and I guess like money and not very spiritual or far less religious, and they just live like a normal, perfect, everyday life where they go to work and they have businesses and they have kids and they got to pay bills. And here I am, full of energy, telling them like there's a spirit, like there is spirit, and they have the seed of God, of the universe is inside of them, and that they're all with all of existence, and all of existence is within them, and just going on and on about this. And I share with them like my purpose is to help raise the collective consciousness. And I was sharing them new evidence and new like science that I've seen and heard at that time of how amazing the human being is. And their response, frankly, was like, Luis, you need to be quiet. You need to like close your mouth. You need to grow up more. You need to take medicine, and you need to go to a psychiatrist. So that was their reaction to me, like, unveiling this whole, like, breaking this piñata open. So it's really funny, fast forward to present day. Definitely don't take psychiatric medication. I've overcome traumatic experiences. I was abused as a child, and these parents that I speak of are my adoptive parents, the people who I called mom and dad for the longest time, because I had about 3 to 4 different sets of parents. But so present day me, I've not only overcome the trauma from my own childhood based on or because of living through the heart, but I am a success, right? The Earl Nightingale definition of success is having a worthy ideal and progressively moving in that direction. And I've helped people in other countries just because I decided to turn on this camera. I knew I didn't have the money to announce myself in advertising, and I probably don't have the best equipment, and no one knows me. But living through the heart has taught me, which we just finished an amazing series on, so I invite you to go watch that. But living through the heart has motivated, has given me the freedom, the emotional, energetic freedom to share my passion, live my truth today, speak my truth, and share others. Because the struggles, I might think I'm going through this for myself, but the truth is now I can tell someone, hey, look, I went through the same thing, but you can get out of it just as I did. And so that is just a synopsis of such an important thing. Your dreams are your dreams. Whatever you believe in, if you believe in God, in a cow, in a bald man, in a bearded man, in a woman man hybrid, whatever you believe in, quite frankly, it's amazing, but in essence, it doesn't matter. The reason I say this, and I know it's not very compassionate, but we all believe in something, and not believing in something greater is also a belief system. But taking away dogma and religion and spirituality, like, let's just be frank, right? Like, we're energy. If we look at ourselves at a subatomic level, everything is connected to everything, right? So we're talking about atoms here. We're talking about literal things that, like, anyone can accept and anyone can understand. Atoms, right? Atoms, we've got a nucleus, protons, electrons, and a whole bunch of space. So at a subatomic level, what I am is connected to all of existence. And that's kind of where we get into, the quantum field and kind of my definition of unified quantum field and all of these things. But in essence, if we want to take away spirituality and dogma and religion, we are all connected. Everything, not just humans, everything is connected. So whatever idea you have of the dream life you want comes from somewhere, right? If we don't want to talk about a God or spirits or whatever, well, let's just talk about it comes from an area that is least dense than I am, right? We can understand that. We can easily accept that. But that idea came to you. You are the medium where the ideal dream life that you want was given. That seed was given to you. It was not given to my parents, what I wanted to do. It wasn't given to Steve Harvey. And your dream, your passions are yours. So do not get discouraged if your friends, your very own partner, your family members tell you, hey, you know what, like, you just need to settle and, like, be happy for what you have and just go to school and always have something to fall back on. Like, if that's your life, then you got to remember, like, the universe gave you that dream. It's for you to see if you're going to manifest. It's not for your parents to accept, nurture, and love. It's yours because it was given to you. And no one else knows the emotional charge that is associated with whatever ideal life, ideal dream, or success, wealth, and health, and relationships, loving relationships that you want. Those ideas are yours and they're unique to you. So whenever you speak about them, just remember that no one else is going to feel them the same way you do. So if they're received positively, then great. But don't let that positiveness, like they're not going to nurture, they're not going to water this dream for you. You have to go out there and do it. On the flip side, if it's received negatively, well, again, even better. You got to just keep going and leave out your dream because let's remember, it was given to you. And I'll end this with, hopefully I can recite this correctly. Denzel Washington in a lecture or a speech he gave to a graduating class, he talked about the following, that when we are on our deathbed, the ghost of our dreams come to us and say, you could have brought us to life. You could have brought us to life. And he kind of ends it with, how many ghosts are going to be by your bedside that you could have brought to life, you could have expressed, you could have fulfilled, you could have watered of the dreams that you left on the bed, on the side, whether it be a musician, whether it be an influencer, a NFL player, whatever it may have been. How many ghosts of the dreams that you left, that you did not chase after and fulfill, are going to be at your bedside when it's your time to go? That's something that I think about, and I listen to this audio by Denzel Washington every day just to motivate me to remember that it's my dream. It's no one else's job to love, nurture, and accept, and it is all my job to fulfill my dream. And that, football beats, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed and received value from it. Please put down in the comments if you have. And if you have not received value, if this video was a waste of your time, please put down in the comments as well. And lastly, share what topics you'd like for me to cover in the future. Give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and share. I hope to see you on the side of light.